So when we decided to switch to being self-sufficient in veg and seasonal fruit a few years ago, we got really interested in season extension. And so one of the things that we're trying, and we've tried a few times over the years, is to be more self-sufficient in tomatoes for more of the year. And the conservatory and grow lights in the conservatory are key to that. And so right now we're just starting to plant our tomatoes for late autumn and winter. We've already planted and got growing next to me here, like is a good example. Nice big tomato plants in containers, and those will see us through kind of the October, early November period, hopefully, when the main crop tomatoes that are in the beds in the conservatory have been taken out and replaced with the winter crops. But we want something hopefully November into December, and so what we're doing at the moment to do that is we're taking side shoots off our favourite tomatoes in here, planting those up and growing those on. They'll be in containers, and as I said, they will go into the conservatory about kind of late July, early August time, when the early tomatoes that are in the conservatory that we've been harvesting since May, they will come out. So that's our kind of strategy with tomatoes. We'll never get them in, all year round or anything like that. It's just too complicated and expensive to do that. But we don't mind being without tomatoes for a few months of the year. So just make sure we look forward to those first ones in early spring. So side shooting tomatoes and planting them. Let's get on. So this is a side shoot in the junction between a leaf and the main stem, and you've got to take these out anyway, because otherwise the plants kind of just get a little bit too out of control. But these are then just beautiful little plants in the making. So here's a little tray that I side shooted I don't know, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Here's some that I just pulled out of the compost bin, just to show you. So these are side shoots that just started rooting. Obviously they're looking really ragged, but that doesn't matter because I'm not planting those. And there's another one just to show you that roots come from all the way up the stem, anywhere there's one of those little bumps. But this is my favourite plant at the moment, honeycomb. It's looking beautiful. Really abundant, an improved version of sun gold. Doesn't split as much apparently. I had a lot of problems last year with sun gold splitting, so decided I wouldn't sow it anymore. So I've just I left these side shoots on intentionally, so I got a nice big side shoot. So I'm planting it in my horrible weedy compost. It's not really that horrible, it's just it's always got weed seeds in it, compost. And I'm leaving this leaf on here. Tomatoes really like eating themselves, so if you plant the leaf like that and bury it, then it gives the plant a little bit of food to get started with that's really nicely accessible to it because it's attached to it. So there we go, with its leaf nicely buried. And you want the soil surface, compost surface, like a saucer, so that the water drains to the centre and not just down the edges of the pot. So there we go, and I put a layer of 2 inches of spent mushroom compost on top. Spent mushroom compost is sterile, so I won't get any weeds growing in that, and hopefully it'll stop the weeds in the compost germinating. And on this plant I also had those little flowers starting. Well, because it hasn't got any roots at the moment, I don't want any flowers on there, so I took those off. I've got these quite nice kind of rustic looking pots. I'm going to put these in the conservatory ultimately. I'm going to put some sweet million in these, I think, so I've got to try and find sweet million cuttings because I'm really happy with the sweet millions that I've got so far. And as I say, because they're going in the conservatory, I want the plants late because I want to be harvesting them in October and November rather than August and September. And I'm going to leave them in here on this bench. Once they've got settled in, I'm actually going to put them down in the shade for the first few days, just while they put roots down. And I've got the other two here with their little starter sticks. I just need to put the eye savers on those. Never put a cane in the polytunnel without an eye saver. So we are 2 weeks on, and those little side shoots have grown very nicely. I'm very happy with those. They've even got quite a few little side shoots of their own, and they're just starting flowers. I'm going to leave the flowers on now because the plants are pretty big. They can support a little bit of flower growth, and I've just picked up some saucers, so these are going to head home now to the conservatory and replace the early tomatoes that have been in the conservatory, well, all their lives, and I think gave us our first tomatoes in May. Although, to be absolutely honest with you, they have not been the best tomato plants in terms of yield. They've only just, and not all the time, kept up with our demand for salad tomatoes. But you know, the truss sizes have been very small, and they were Ildi, which traditionally has huge trusses, and I just don't think they probably get enough sun. But now it's summer, although it's really cloudy and raining today, maybe they'll get a little bit more sun, and of course I've got the grow lights in there now, so that should be okay. And some of the other side shoots that I took coming on down here nicely, and those little tiny side shoots that I showed you 2 weeks ago, ready for planting, are looking pretty great as well. So I'll just plant probably the two strongest of those, and then I am done with tomatoes for this year. And now my attention turns to cucumbers, and we've got plenty of cucumbers in the polytunnel right now, but I really want to get a nice continuity of cucumbers in the polytunnel, sorry, in the conservatory. So I've just set my first batch of seeds, and they've just come up, but yeah, pretty good fem spot this is. But for the conservatory, I'm going to grow the mini cucumbers like La Diva. So I'm really pleased with the growth on those little side shoots. They're coming on well. Can't wait to get them in the conservatory. Hope you enjoyed this quick video. My name's Steve. This is the Seaside Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.